Hey friends, I am back again. Hope you all are in good mood and health. Let me ask you a question today, that how many of you feel that good mood can drive you to a good health? These days almost every person knows the fact that it's the mind, which is very precious, that drives us in a way to go. But is this possible for you to be in a good mood every time? A big no, right? In this fast-paced life where time is money, we hardly have time for ourselves to think, to feel better or to relax. Since morning, when we wake up in the morning till we go to the bed, we ran continuously forgetting something. Remember friends, it is the only mind that helps you to drive your body psychosomatically and you achieve those targets. Now let's come to the point, what causes trouble, you cannot get rid of, or it works as a barrier to keep you in a good mood? It's the anxiety. Today, we will try to focus on this matter, what anxiety is and how it works on us or in our child too. Welcome to my channel Arnab Ghosh Psycho Know Me. Today I will discuss anxiety matter in children's, the most wanted topic these days because all the childrens are taking online classes and are anxious, resulting which they behaves differently with their guardians. Just like adults, children and young people feel worried and anxious at times. But if your child's anxiety is starting to affect their well-being, they may need some help. What makes children anxious? Children can feel anxious about different things at different ages. Many of these worries are a normal part of growing up. From the age of around 6 months to 3 years, it's very common for young children to have separation anxiety. They may become clingy and cry when separated from their parents or carers. This is a normal stage in a child's development and should stop at around age 2 to 3. It's also common for preschool age children to develop specific fears or phobias. Common fears in early childhood include animals, insects, storms, heights, water, blood, and the dark. These fears usually go away gradually on their own. There may also be other times in a child's life when they feel anxious. For example, many children feel anxious when going to a new school or before tests and exams. Some children feel shy in social situations and may need support with this. When is anxiety a problem for children? Anxiety becomes a problem for children when it starts to get in the way of their everyday life. If you go into any school at exam time, all the children will be anxious, but some may be so anxious that they don't manage to get to school that morning. Severe anxiety like this can harm children's mental and emotional well-being, affecting their self-esteem and confidence. They may become withdrawn and go to great lengths to avoid things or situations that make them feel anxious. What are the signs of anxiety in children? When young children feel anxious, they cannot always understand or express what they are feeling. You may notice that they become irritable, tearful or clingy, have difficulty sleeping, wake in the night, start wetting the bed, have bad dreams. In older children you may notice that they lack confidence to try new things or seem unable to face simple, everyday challenges. Find it hard to concentrate. Have problems with sleeping or eating. Have angry outbursts. Have a lot of negative thoughts or keep thinking that bad things are going to happen. Start avoiding everyday activities such as seeing friends, going out in public or going to school. Why is my child anxious? Some children are more likely to have worries and anxiety than others. Children often find change difficult and may become anxious following a house move or when starting a new school. Children who have had a distressing or traumatic experience, such as a car accident or house fire, may suffer from anxiety afterwards. Family arguments and conflict can also make children feel insecure and anxious. Teenagers are more likely to suffer with social anxiety than other age groups, avoiding social gatherings or making excuses to get out of them. How to help an anxious child? If a child is experiencing anxiety, there are things that parents and carers can do to help. First and foremost, it's important to talk to your child about their anxiety or worries. Reassure them and show them you understand how they feel. If your child is old enough, it may help to explain what anxiety is and the physical effects it has on our bodies. It may be helpful to describe anxiety as being like a wave that builds up and then ebbs away again. As well as talking to your child about their worries and anxiety, it's important to help them find solutions. For example, if your child is worried about going to a sleepover, it is natural to want to tell them not to go. However, this could mean your child feels that their anxiety will stop them from doing things. It's better to recognize their anxiety and suggest solutions to help them, so they can go to the sleepover with a plan in place. Other ways to ease anxiety in children. Teach your child to recognize signs of anxiety in themselves. Encourage your child to manage their anxiety and ask for help when they need it. Children of all ages find routines reassuring, so try to stick to regular daily routines where possible. If your child is anxious because of distressing events, such as a bereavement or separation, look for books or films that will help them to understand their feelings. If you know a change, such as a house move, is coming up, prepare your child by talking to them about what is going to happen and why. Try not to become overprotective or anxious yourself. Practice simple relaxation techniques with your child, such as taking 3 deep, slow breaths, breathing in for a count of 3 and out for 3. Distraction can be helpful for young children. For example, if they are anxious about going to nursery, play games on the way there, such as seeing who can spot the most red cars. Turn an empty tissue box into a worry box. Get your child to write about or draw their worries and post them into the box. Then you can sort through the box together at the end of the day or week. Some suggestions for the parents. Talking to your teenager. Getting teenagers to talk openly about what's bothering them can be hard. Follow these tips to help get them talking to you about their worries. Do not judge your teenager. Start by assuming they have a good reason for doing what they do. Show them you respect their intelligence and are curious about the choices they've made. If you do not prejudge their behavior as stupid or wrong, they're more likely to open up and explain why their actions made sense to them. Try not to assume you know what's wrong. Do not assume that you know what's wrong. Rather than asking, "Are you being bullied?" try saying, "I've been worried about you. You do not seem your usual self, and I wondered what's going on with you at the moment. Is there anything I can help with?" Be clear you want to help. If you suspect your child is using drugs or drinking excessively, be gentle but direct. Ask them, and let them know that you'll help them through any of their difficulties. Be honest yourself. Teenagers will criticize you if you do not follow your own advice. If you drink too much alcohol yourself, for example, they're likely to mention it. You cannot talk. Make sure you're acting responsibly yourself. Help your teenager think for themselves. Instead of trying to be the expert on your teenager's life, try to help them think for themselves. Discuss the potential implications of poor behavior choices. For example, how does smoking weed make you feel the next day? So, if you feel like that, how's that going to affect you playing football? Help them think critically about what they see and hear. So Paul said X, is that what you think? Help them feel that they can deal with life's challenges. Remind them of what they're good at and what you like about them. This will give them confidence in other areas of their lives. Information is empowering. Point them towards websites that can give them information on drugs, sex and smoking so they can read the facts and make up their own minds. Help them think of ways they can respond and cope. So, when you feel like that, is there anything you can do to make yourself feel better? Encourage them to think through the pros and cons of their behavior. Pick your battles with your teenager. If they only ever hear nagging from you, they'll stop listening. Overlooking minor issues, such as the clothes they wear, may mean you're still talking to each other when you need to negotiate or stand firm with them on bigger issues, such as drugs and sex. Try not to react to angry outbursts. Teenagers often hit out at the people they most love and trust, not because they hate you, but because they feel confused. Do not think that they mean the bad things they say, "I hate you." They may just feel confused, angry, upset, lost or hormonal, and they do not know how to express it. Help your teenager feel safe. Teenagers often worry that telling an adult will just make things worse. You need to be clear that you want to help them and will not do anything they do not want you to. This may be particularly important with bullying. If your child opens up to you about bullying, explain that it is unacceptable. Listen to their fears and reassure them it's not their fault. Help build up their confidence by reassuring them that you'll face the problem together. Ask your teenager the right questions. Sometimes you'll find out more about your teenager if you ask open questions. If they have an eating disorder, for example, asking confrontational questions like, "What did you eat for lunch?" or "Have you made yourself sick?" may mean you get a dishonest answer. Sticking to open questions such as, "How are you?" or "How has your day been?" helps your teenager talk to you about how they're feeling. Rest in the next. Hope you have understood the very basics of anger in your child. So deal accordingly and never be crazy. It will only harm your child. Handle your child coolly and carefully. Rest in the next. Thanks for listening my video.